We are live Wednesday night, episode number 56 of Keeping It Shrimple. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I know some of you are probably still hanging out with Kyle. He was finishing up his stream. So, no biggie. We'll say hello to everybody that's in the house right now and kind of go from there. I see Jeff Kane was the first like. He says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way in. Can't make the live tonight. TM is doing a member stream at the same time. Awesome. I appreciate it, Jeff. That was at 6:28. Frank Basanta, hello. Metalhead, what up? Woo! Mark Sterlson, Craig Donaher, Sketty Nana, Nano Aquarium guy. How you doing? Hello. Hi, Dennis. Yeah. So we're a little bit like right on time. So we'll give everybody a little bit of time to get in. And who knows how it's going to go because of the holidays and all that fun stuff. But hey, there's a reminder on the holiday stuff about FishFam Christmas. So if you don't know about it, hopefully you'll see the short that I posted earlier today. Yes, this channel and this stream will be participating in that. So we will have a surprise visit from uh, Santa Claus to do a giveaway on one of the streams between December 18th and, oh, I'm bad. But yeah, during the time period that they're having the Fish Fam event. I'm terrible. Hi, Lori. Eduardo, what's going on? How you doing? Who else jumped in here? Let's see. There's Bunny Viper. Hello. How you doing? It's fun stuff. It's a fun night. Yeah, Rico, what's the end date of the Fish Fam Christmas? Since I didn't study up properly. Bad, Jerry. December 18th through January 1st. So all of the streams that are participating, there's a list and a link on the short that I posted. So you could go there and click on that link. It'll show you all of the channels that are participating. And the big thing is that you want to be a subscriber of that channel so that you get the notification of when they're streaming. So that way you could be present to possibly win in the giveaway if Santa shows up. It's going to be random. I'm not going to give you a date. I already know the date, but I'm not going to share that with anybody. So just come to my stream. Come to everybody's streams from December 18th until forevermore. How about that? Not just until January 1st. Come on. We got to share the love. Well, let's see. Fish Fam Christmas. Hello. Dun, 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 dun. Silver Creek, how you doing? Oops, wrong button. You will just have to get what we send now. And I might do something a little bit different because so here's kind of the deal. We're hoping that part of the event helps some of the smaller channels like myself get some additional subs. And an idea was presented to me that maybe I should do members only streams during that time. And I'm kind of half and half on it, but I also think it's a really good idea. So that way it's not just, I don't know how to say it. It doesn't sound wrong. I don't want to say just random people because I want random people, to accidentally click on and catch a stream and then maybe they'll enjoy the channel. But since we're doing giveaways and it's a pretty decent dollar amount of a giveaway, then maybe it should be subscribers only. What do you think? Give me some feedback and let me know what you think. it's a great idea that the people that have built up the one and anticipation for the event get to actually get something fruitful out of it. Yeah, yeah. Did I say members earlier? I thought I did. Oopsie. I'm messing up already. That's how excited I am, I guess. But subscribers, I don't have members because I think I'm at 799 on my sub count. So I'm not big enough to have members yet. It should be subs only, at least to not get weird spam. Yeah, and that's the other thing. But I do have Monster Fish Gal as one of my moderators, and she's awesome. I haven't seen any of the weird spam on my streams in quite a while. I think I did once last week, but it was taken care of immediately. So you say subscribers only. You know what? I think so too. It's kind of a good idea. It might help people want to subscribe so that way they can get on the stream and win a prize, you know? So I might try it. Eduardo streams so much grits being kissed. Kiss my grits. Oh yeah, by the way, we got to do this because just we have to.
I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp?
And no, I haven't changed it yet. I was going to do a little something, but I'll save that for the next stream. I'll do a little something special. And so the topic for tonight was plans for 2023. I know it's a little bit early to start thinking about that for most people. Hey, Rob's Aqua, how you doing? Scuba Stevos, what's up? It is a little bit early to start thinking about that because we have Christmas coming. So that's on everybody's mind first and foremost. At least the holidays are. It may not be Christmas, but the holidays. Merry, happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, right? That covers all the bases. Big Shrimpin', LJ Shrimps and Snails, Jamie A. Hashtag tater salad. You must be coming over from Kyle's because tater salad was awesome. And he gifted, like, while I was watching, 25 memberships. And I got one. Woo! See, you get benefits for getting on people's streams that have stuff like memberships. And maybe someday I will, and people will get gifted memberships, but we'll worry about that when we cross that bridge. Right now, it's more about everybody knows what's been going on. You know, life has been a little difficult or challenging, not difficult. I'd say challenging. And when that happens, sometimes you have to change your priorities. And I built and tore down and built and tore down my fish room, shrimp room. I don't know how many times now, too many to count, but enough to be really good at doing it. That's the one benefit that I'm way more comfortable now of tearing down a tank, setting up tanks, resetting tanks, and getting my shrimp in there without losing shrimp. This last time that I did it, I think I lost maybe a couple, but not because of anything. I think I stressed them out when I tried to catch them, or they were one of the last remaining stragglers and the water got all murky and I, turned over the substrate maybe a little too much. So yeah, those couple of straggler shrimps, it was probably my fault. But getting things set up and resetting, I feel pretty comfortable with it. And I meant to watch Mark Shrimp Tank's video on his resetting with using a bucket when you only have one aquarium. I need to watch it so I could learn some things. You know me, I always wanted to learn. Shrimp pimpin', what's up, Ruben? How's it going, brother? Crown Tail, hello. How you doing? Let's see who else jumped in here. I thought I saw somebody else jump in here. Frank, there you are. New local Austin. I love shrimp. Yeah, I know, Kyle. Eventually I'll get there. I'm not worried about it as much. I think one of the cool things for channels like myself is that if I'm not mistaken, YouTube is making some changes at the beginning of the year to allow us less than 1,000 subs still be eligible for super chats and stuff like that. We'll see. It makes sense in YouTube's perspective because if they can make a little bit of money from all the channels instead of only the bigger channels, then it's better for them, right? So that's why they're doing it, I believe, because they do collect. Um, I think it's, I don't know what the fee is because I've never received a super chat. So who knows? But I think it's all about money. It's always all about money. Um, I know I do need more videos. Again, life has kind of thrown a bunch of curveballs at me. Everybody knows lately dealing with my heart stuff. That's kind of is curveball. Um, and it's taken me a little bit to just get acclimated to my situation because at the same time, while I was in the hospital or ER room a couple of months ago, I was online submitting applications. Yeah, YouTube wants their 30%. So I believe it's going to be after the first of the year that they're going to start doing it, that will be eligible for super chats and stuff. Yes, through February of next year, I think they roll out that process. So that's going to be pretty cool. Big shrimping. And like I said, I know I need to get video. I have so many ideas and I've recorded so much content. Um, it's a little overwhelming because I have more content than what I have time to put together. Um, so I think I'm going to change it up the way I do it a little bit and see if I can get away with doing, if I film it right, I won't have to spend so much time doing the editing. So that's my big hurdle, is trying to learn how to video it in a better process so that way the editing doesn't become so cumbersome. Of course, I know me, and once I get in there, I'm going to take this out and that out, and I'm going to transition this and that, and I'm going to be like, oh, I got to all that fancy stuff. So I got to find that happy medium to where I'm still feeling comfortable about putting a video out without making it look like it's just a rush job just to throw videos out there. Because that's the last thing I want to do, is just to throw content out there and it really not have an impact. I mean, obviously the videos I do have don't make that much of an impact, but it's gotten me to 800 subs almost. I think I was at 799 today. So I should do a like Kyle, and instead of push to 5,000, I should do a push to 1,000. And then hopefully, my goal was to get there by the end of this year. That didn't happen. So, but yes, videos, I need to do more content. I have so many different ideas. You know, this tank back here has been topic of discussion lately. And even when okay, so let's be honest. Do a 1K giveaway? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Do a 1K giveaway. Um, so, like I said, I was in the ER. I was filling out applications. For a little bit, I tried this one job that I thought was going to be right up my alley. It ended up not being something that I was very interested in. And at the same time, I did a follow up with my doctor, and that's when he informed me that he was going to have to go do another procedure on my heart. When I had the procedure, I found out that the open heart surgery I had a year and a half ago, it was kind of, it didn't work. So, yeah. So all of that stuff combined, it put me, it was just weird to deal with, and trying to overcome not having my income from working with Jadron Aquatics. That was a little bit of it was discouraging. And so I've been doing all kinds of little things. Right now, I'm temporarily doing a bartending job, right? Go figure. But I figured I need some quick cash, and I do start a real job on Monday. So that's again, it's going to take away time from me focusing on doing this stuff, but I kind of need to do that to get myself squared away, because what I plan on doing is, as you know, what I've done with this tank. Well, basically, this tank has all of my shrimp in it now. Um, I still have a tank of PBLs and I have a tank of PRLs. All the rest of my shrimp, whether they're the orange eye red tigers, the zebra pintos, the galaxy pintos, some blue steels, blue shadow pandas, and a bunch of tangerine tigers. What else is in there? What else is in there? But everything's in this tank now. So I kind of decided to go 100% community. And oh man, tater salad, thank you so much. Pole dancing. Dun, 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 dun. I need to get a video like Jess and do some pole dancing. Man, you're too awesome. That reminds me, just in case anybody else is wondering how to throw support this way before the super chat stuff starts, this is the best way. And anything you could do is very helpful. Like I said, I'm doing bartending right now to try to get a little bit of extra cash and hopefully, make a little bit of money before Christmas time. Because when you get a real job, they do that thing where you work and they calculate your pay, but they don't pay you until the following pay period. So it's probably going to be about a month before I actually see a paycheck. So yeah, it's going to be a little rough for the next few months, but that's okay. It's all good because I really am going to enjoy my new gig. Pole dancing is a real job. Woohoo! Did I get to 800? Really? Pole dancing is a real job. I didn't have my mute on when I went to the other screen. That's funny. It still says $7.99 on me, but hey, whatever. So check this out, okay? I don't want to say anything. I don't want to name the company, but it's a manufacturing company that manufactures sheds, okay? And so I'm going to be this whole person responsible for sales at this location selling sheds. And why that is so exciting to me is because I already have 20 million ideas of what I want to do with the various sheds to make a fish shed, especially since I live out here in the country and I have acreage that I could put a shed or 12 on. It'd be a quick way to start off small, insulate it, put the electricity, and put some fish in it, some aquariums. So that's going to be kind of cool. And I have so many ideas because there's so many other things I could do with the shed besides put a fish room. I could build a shed and insulate it so that I could have a rehearsal space for my drumming, or I could turn it into a rehearsal place studio for YouTube stuff. Just all kinds of ideas run through my head. So this is going to be a pretty cool gig. It's pretty decent money. So I'm going to be kind of having to balance my work-life situation in a way that, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get off on time on Wednesdays to be doing my stream. I should be, but who knows, because those hours of the evening are probably more productive than hours when people are working, if that makes sense. So we'll see. I'm at the bar already. Step to the pole. It's not that kind of a bar. It's actually a one of those movie grill places, um, where they have bowling alleys, they have the movies. You can eat in the movies, and then they have several bars and party events and an arcade. So I figured that was an easy way to make some quick cash. Ooh, I have to refresh to see 802. Well, let me try it. Let's see what happens. Ooh, awesome. Woohoo! Ding 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 ding. Let's see. Do I have any fun videos? Nope.
I
Other
love
than
shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp?
I got that one. And I need a little musical dance thing. Yeah, I'm a drummer. I've been drumming since I was 9 years old. So only about 15 years. No, I'm not that young. It's been 4 years that I've been drumming. I did it all through elementary, junior high, high school, the little bit of college, in the military. I was actually a drummer in the Army band. And then when I got out of the Army, I played in live bands. And then, of course, as you know, I did the soundtrack for Ron White, Tater Salad, the Tater Salad from here. Um, and I did the music for his DVD Behavioral Problems. So if any of you have a copy of Ron White's Behavioral Problems DVD, the music on the menu and on the intro and on the outro, that's my drumming. So that's kind of cool. Hi, Fish Dreams. I know that's okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it from my face to a Santa face, or my face with Santa. I got to try to figure out how to do, those masks or filters or whatever the kids call them, where it makes the face for me on top of my face, and then change the colors of the background. Make it all festive. Oh, thanks. I didn't know if I still left the Christmas mug on there. If you go to my Teespring stuff, I do have a Christmas mug that I made last year. I didn't do anything this year. Again, I've been so caught up in all this life stuff getting in the way, trying to find a job and make money and, pay bills and stuff like that. So I've kind of slacked on all the having fun and being here with my shrimp. I definitely want to I'll do a quick peek at the tank here. I'll do it now. And we'll take a little quick look. I'm going to hit stop cam and move my camera so I don't make everybody all dizzy or sick or anything like that. Don't want you to have a seizure, even though I don't have bright lights going on. Hold on. Here we go. We're flying over here. I'm gonna move you over here and slide this over. Hey, Stephen P., how you doing? Barbara Jackson, hello. Liquid Rock. Yeah, I was a drummer for the Army. So let's take a look in here and see what we got. There's a bunch of tangerine tigers because, well, they decided to breed. I'm still working on trying to get rid of all my algae. I'm trying to do it as naturally as possible. As you can see, it's a very, very slow process. But all the shrimp that I have had in all of these little nano tanks that I transitioned from my fish room to Jadron Aquatics, and then from Jadron Aquatics over here, they're all in this 120-gallon long tank. I still haven't put the sponge filter back on. But yeah, and see what's crazy is that like the orange eye red tigers, one of them looks very blonde, is right there. This it looks like a almost like a yellow King Kong, but that's a tangerine tiger, and that's why I made sure that I got her when she was buried. I separated her and let her have after she released her berries. I put her in a this little breeder box up here with a male, and then she got buried up again. And then I waited until she released those before I put them all in this tank. So there's a bunch of tangerine tigers, as you can see, all over the place. My fish bones, galaxy fish bones are in here. The zebra pintos are in here. And everything off of this under gravel filtration, which is doing a really, really good job of keeping all the pH stable. Um, I'm still kind of worried about sloshing the substrate around, but I shouldn't be too much. There shouldn't be too much stuff caught up in there. But yeah, these shrimp are just happy. There's several that are buried. I put all of the fancy red tigers in here as well. That's the other ones. I had those all in their own tank with my clown killifish. But like I said, I decided to go ahead and put them in this tank and just do it like a basic, mixed tank, mixed Caradinas. I'm not doing anything with Jadarin anymore. Um, he's going to be moving his shop. He sold the building, and it's not feasible, and it hasn't been feasible for me to go out there. The orders weren't enough. As far as I know, he stopped buying fish and shrimp and all that stuff. So the sales weren't enough to be able to pay me even for gas to get there. So we kind of just decided that it's best that he continue on with what he's doing, which, like I said, he's selling the building and moving another 60 miles further west, maybe even more. It's probably more like 100 miles that he's moving from Mansfield to Graham. So it's just going to be too far for me to drive all that way. And I don't know how much of the fish room is going to go with him. As we all know, he tore down the fish room at home. So the only tanks that he had set up were there at the shop. And I don't know how many of those are going to go. Oh, man. You're awesome, Kyle. Thank you much. That touches my heart, man. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate it so much. But look at some of these these fancy red tigers. I don't know if I can get it to focus right. It's got a little bit of a glare, so it's probably having a little bit of a hard time focusing. But some of these fancy red tigers are just amazing, and I had a real hard time trying to decide if I wanted to put them in this tank because I've been working on this colony I've had it for a year and a half, basically. Um, but they're beautiful to me, anyways. But yeah, there's all kinds of shrimp in this tank now. Oh, he did put out an update about moving today? Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, see, I haven't even been watching my YouTube videos, so that tells you how far behind the times I am. Like I said, I want to watch Mark's Shrimp Tanks videos. I want to watch Jason. If he put out a video, I want to go catch the video and see what's going on with that. Let's see if you can see that tiger back there. That one on the rock, it's got awesome patterns on it. And I don't know if it's going to focus right. Let me try to do my finger thing again. I think there's too much glare. But you get the drift. All the shrimp are in here, all the babies everywhere. They're just having a great time. Let me get this back to normal. I'm going to stop the camera for a second. I'm still here with you. Oh, tangerine tigers are caridina, yes. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. And in case you're wondering, in case anybody is wondering, later, Kyle. Thanks for everything, man. You have a good one, brother. Um, in case anybody's wondering, yes, the wonderful, wonderful shrimp envy, complete envy is what these shrimp are eating. And then for the babies, of course, I do have Shrimp King baby. And I even use this for my clown killies, Bacter AE. That's what I supplement my tanks with for foods. I want to get some unsalted green beans because the tank over there with the PBLs in it has some lemon blue eye longfin plecos. So I'd like to give them some green beans, but that's a pretty tank. Here, let me show you all this tank over here. Let me move. Here, I'm going to push stop again because I want to show you. This one's just a pretty tank all the way around. I love it. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Let's see if it'll look. It's kind of a, since it's a flex, a fluval flex, it's kind of strange on the way that it affects the camera. But here's this one. This one has PBLs and some 2 longfin lemon blue eye plecos in it. This tank is one of the ones that I reset and I have 0 issues with it. No algae problems. I must have put the right amount of plants and everything in it because it's been absolutely amazing. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I love that tank. At some point, yes. That was the whole plan when I got these plecos, was to be selling them. I got them from Gary's Fish Room. He's local here, not but maybe 20 miles away from me. And where my job is going to be located, I'm going to be right around the corner from him. So that's going to be kind of cool because maybe I can, once I start getting my tank set up and redone and everything, maybe I can get some more plecos from him because I love the ones I have. I have 2 the lemon blue eye long fins. I have 2 the lemon blue eye regulars and 2 snow white plecos. And those snow white, I mean, they're white. They stand out like crazy in that tank. It's beautiful. Hey, did I see Lefty in here? I love shrimp. What's going on, Lefty? How you doing? Woohoo, Daniel Velez. Myrek, what's going on? Let's see, anybody else sneak in here? Pile Aquatics, Mark, how you doing? Glitch. Hey, Glitch, how you doing? It's been a while. Yes, the undergravel filter is doing a great job. And it's like I said, I wish I would have taken some video of the one that I had set up at Jadron Aquatics before I tore it down. because it was amazing looking. Just every, even the tank up there with the PRLs, that also has under gravel filtration. And all of the tanks that I'm using the under gravel filtration, it's working out super awesome. Ooh, look, see, there's Gary's fish room. Hello, got him out from lurking. um, he's got some calicos coming soon. So that was the plan when I originally got all of these, is that he brought them over here for me to check them out, see if I liked them. And he explained to me explicitly that everybody that has tried to do, my thing's crooked. Everybody that's tried to do the plecos needed the hard water. And of course, you know me, I'm like, we'll see. And so I did. And I slowly acclimated them from hard water tank setup to a soft water tank setup. And that's why I have them with my Caridina shrimp. And they're doing fine. So I'm thinking of taking the Snow White from the aquarium over there and putting them in this tank with these shrimp. And maybe they'd help a little bit with the algae that I'm battling. Who knows? But I have so many shrimplets in this tank that I'm kind of hesitant to do that. But I'm probably going to do it anyways and just see, let's see what happens. I don't think they'll mess with the shrimp, but you never know. So we'll see. Ooh, look. Normal blue eye lemon plecos breed like rabbits. At least mine do. I'm still trying to get my German Rams, my black German Rams to breed. And I'm going to try something. Let's see if it has anybody ever bred the German Rams. And the reason, hi, Nicole. The reason I'm asking is because something that I've done before that seemed to work was that when I have a pair of German Rams and the breeding isn't happening, I don't see them spawning or, prepping an area to spawn. I'll take one of them out, put it in a breeder box, maybe for about a week or so. When I did it the last time, it looked like they missed each other terribly, and they were constantly looking for their mate. So when I put it back in the tank, next thing you know, boom, I had a bunch of babies. I even have a video on it because they are the ones that accidentally spawned in my QT tank. So go check that video out. I did that video about a year and a half ago. Yeah, I think about a year, maybe even longer, maybe almost 2 years ago. It was, yeah, I know, it was because I ended up losing almost all of the fry and the adults when we had that big freeze last year. I was in Arkansas at the time, and there was like snow for days and power outages. Everybody remembers that from the southern area over here where we normally don't experience that stuff. So does Shrimp Envy shrimp to eat you? I'm not sure. Rob, are y'all in here? Rob or Ree, either one of you, are y'all here? I'm not sure if they do or not. That's a good question. Awesome. Okay, what'd you get now, Dee Dee? How many tanks do you have now? 15, 18, 20? I remember when you only had one or two. And they weren't even really tanks. You just had in your bowl, right? You started off with the bowl. Was it the blind fish keeping contest that started you off with them? I can't remember, but I know it was around that time when we had that blind fish keeping contest, escaping contest. Ooh, tornadoes yesterday. No, they didn't come near us here in Terrell, but they went north of us, Wolf City, Paris, stuff like that. So it was pretty rough for about 20 minutes. We had just, I mean, raindrops the size of quarters, it seemed like, and water everywhere. And then it stopped, and then it came back for another 10, 15 minutes or so. And it was a lot of water dumped on the ground. So that was a crazy storm that went through. Lady Rorschach, hello. Rorschach. I didn't see the one you posted, but I was watching the news yesterday and seeing all the different damages, the Walmart roof that was in the trees. That was crazy. Oh no, look at you. I'm so proud of you. 23 shrimp tanks. Woohoo! You go, girl. That's my Dee Dee. I love shrimp. She loves shrimp. That's so cool. And what's really cool about what I've noticed with Dee Dee is she's ordered a little bit of shrimp from everybody. When she was first starting, she ordered from me. She ordered from Motor City Aquatics. I know she's ordered from Grant. I don't know if you've ordered from Flip. Think you possibly ordered from Joe Shrimp Shack. Now you've ordered some from Shrimp Envy. So hopefully you've gotten some from buypetshrimp.com. Just share the love, spread the love. I love that. That's awesome. Woohoo! You go, girl. What? Okay. Yes, Flip too. Yeah, Dee Dee's, she's addicted. I love it. That's so awesome. I just love that I was a part of that. And even when she was calling me, or texting me and saying, hey, what do I do? How do I set up my tank? What's the best parameters? What do you suggest? And so that was really cool to be a part of that and help her overcome any of her fears or concerns about getting some Caridina, because I believe she had some Neos, but switching over to Caridina was a little bit, you know, most people get a little bit concerned. And I found it myself doing both like I have. To me, right now, Caridina are so much easier than Neos. And it's because starting off with RO water, it's so much easier to start with clean water and applying the same principles and doing the GHKH minerals has helped in some shape, form, or fashion. But when I was doing Neos originally, I had no idea what I was doing, way back in the before times. And I had so much success not knowing anything of what I was doing. And I was doing it all wrong from what I've learned now. And now I can't do Neos as well. And they're not as prolific for me as my Caridina. So who knows? That's why I want to get Mark Shelley Aquatics on here and pick his brain a little bit to understand what I did wrong and why am I having an issue? Is it a mental block, or what is it? Why am I having issues with Neos? Now I have a bunch of blues up here, but they're not as prolific as, say, all my Caridinas. So who knows? Clean water is the key. Clean water is the key. And that's, like I said, that's what makes it for me seem like the Caridinas are so much easier. And maybe it's because I'm just more particular. Maybe I'm watching them more particular to make sure there isn't pH swings or, ammonia spikes, stuff like that. And whereas the Neos, I kind of just throw them in a tank with the guppies or not. But that's what I've always said to people. You treat them, the neos, like you would guppies or any normal, tropical fish that doesn't require a bunch of water parameter checks and soft water and active substrate and blabbity blabbity blabbity. Got to keep it shrimple, right? So neos to me was always just like you would set up a guppy tank. That's fine for neos. Um, I guess it's working over here where I have guppies in it, and there was a mystery neo that popped up in there. It probably came from Jadron Aquatics when I brought over a plant or mosses or something, and I didn't know it was in there. But there's a Neocaridina. It's a cherry shrimp. I would love to have one of those bowls. So that's the thing about tonight. Um, or yeah, the topic of tonight, plans for 2023. So as you can tell, and I've probably jumbled it all up and went squirrel too many times, and I made it a little confusing. But that's my plans, is that with this new job, hopefully I get some kind of discount, or maybe even be able to finagle at some point after I've been there a little bit to have like a test shed to see what I could do with it. And that's always been my plan, and it's still going to be my plan to build a somewhat of a shrimp breeding facility farm. Of course, starting off small. And when I say small, it's 40, 50 tanks. I don't have the capacity, or I don't have the setup yet, but I'm hoping to get it set up to where I can manage a lot of aquariums by myself. There's no way by myself I could do like what Grant and Shelby do. That's just me by myself. No way. I just couldn't keep up with it. But if I build the system correctly, I should be able to somewhat automate it. And that's a tricky question. That's a tricky thing. Automation is a tricky thing for me. Um, I've seen what automation does to the way you engage or disengage from your aquariums because it's automatic. I've seen how that works, and I don't really want to be that disengaged from paying attention to my aquariums. I like being engaged as much as possible and making sure that things are right. So I'm still half and half on the whole automation thing, but I know that's something I need to do, at least to where I have overflows in a way that I'm not having to worry about flooding my fish room. I don't want to flood my fish room. I've done that too many times. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. And I just do everything the hard way until I find an easier way, if that makes any sense at all. That's just the way I am. I like to figure things out. I like to know the what's and the whys. And that's why I try experiments with undergravel filtration, with box filters, just different stuff that I try to find out different ways to have the same effect, or maybe even a better, more improved process. Could get lucky. Who knows? I have one tank with black tiger shrimp caridina. They're much easier than their reputation. I do test the water a lot, though. Well, the tigers, again, that's one of the things that I think you get away with a little bit more. Um, they're not as sensitive. Any of the tiger shrimp, especially tangerine tigers, they're not as sensitive. Now you get into the orange eyes, maybe, but from everything that I know, even like orange eye blue tigers, there's people that raise them and breed them in Neocaridina parameters. So the tigers, they can tolerate a little bit of KH, and that's why they're one of the easiest, I think, of the caridinas to get into. Um, because they can tolerate a little bit of the KH and higher GH and higher TDS. Hey, what did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, does having too many ram's horn snails tend to overload the shrimp tank load? Um, I don't think. Well, honestly, yes, I believe so. I believe anytime you have too many snails, it's gonna throw the balance off because they poop a lot, and a lot of times the snail poop will contribute to swings that are unwanted. So even though I still have snails in most of my tanks, um, I try to, when I see it getting to be too much of a problem, I'll maybe throw in an assassin snail, like in this tank. I threw in an assassin snail. And then when I'm being meticulous about trying to clean things and stuff like that, I'll use my tweezers and I'll go in there and pull out the snail shells. Um, Last week we talked about gift ideas. Turkey baster was one of them. That the long turkey basters is a good way to be able to do that, pull out snails. And then sometimes, because they're a great food source for the German rams, I will take the snails and move them to the German ram tank, and usually the German rams take care of them, unless they're real big. So is that why Grant hates them so much? I'm not sure if that's why he hates them so much, but yeah, sometimes we're shrimpers are particular about just why have them in there? Because then what if you have a planaria outbreak, by accident? You never know. And then you go to treat it, and then the snails die, and then there's an ammonia spike. Um, that could be an issue. So there's lots of reasons why, to me, visually, sometimes it just gets to be a distraction to have a bunch of snails in the tank. And, we're so particular about making sure the water's clean, and we want to have, really don't want to have something that might contribute to any type of parameter swings. And snails can sometimes do that. Ram's horn snails take care of the hydra in my tank. Ooh, that's crazy. I just try not to have hydra. Of course, it happens. It happens. I know. Been there, done that. Snails eat expensive snail food. What other reasons do you need? Snails eat anything. I just, like I said, it's one of those things that if you can avoid it, avoid it. Why not? Why deal with it at all? And then you don't have that worry. That's not another variable that might contribute to parameter swings in your aquarium. Especially if you start getting into some very expensive shrimp, then I'm pretty much myself, I'm going to make sure everything is as pristine as possible, because if I go spend $100 or $200 per shrimp, I'm going to make sure that I don't have anything that I might go to sleep one night with everything fine and wake up the next morning and everything be upside down, white, or laying on their sides. That, no. But aquariums, you're going to have snails. You buy plants, you're going to have snails, unless you do the treatments beforehand, and all the different things that you can do to make sure that you don't bring those little critters into your tank. Then yeah. Uh, but why mess with it? Why mess with having to treat your tank for planaria or hydra, and then again have a shift in parameters? Because one of the things that I've always recommended is to make sure you do, excuse me, make sure you do a good water change after you treat, because even if you kill off the planaria and the hydra, the dead organic matter could create an ammonia spike. So you want to get as much of that dead stuff out of the tank so that you don't have those parameter swings. Does that make sense? How do I deal with seed shrimp? The quickest method that I've done is just I'll take baby guppies or some of the really small clown killifish that I have, and I'll put them in the tank. If I have a bunch of shrimplets, I'm going to use a breeder box like this one, and I'll put the fish in here, and hopefully the filtration process of the water being sucked into the breeder box will put the seed shrimp in the breeder box, and the fish can feed off of them. And it's a slow process, but everything I do, like I said, I try to do as much naturally as possible. Um, I don't want to put, I don't want to treat the tank with something. I'd rather use other fish or assassin snails if I have a snail outbreak, stuff like that that I know will help do it naturally. That's just, I'm big on as much natural, keeping it shrimple and keeping it natural. A lot of that is probably because of my influence is from Lucas Bretz. I mean, that guy just made my head explode over the years. I've been following Lucas, what, 4 or 5 years now. Um, so a lot of the stuff I just try to keep it as natural as possible. Now I don't have 100% no filtration, but I do have that in several tanks where it's nothing. There's no filtration. It's just water and plants, and they're doing fine. But I'm still trying to get more comfortable doing that to be able to do the more expensive shrimp. George RB3, hello, how you doing? Awesome, appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I do. I use, and sometimes the guppies are too, depending on how big the seed shrimp and how bad they get infested in a tank. Sometimes the baby guppies are too little to actually do anything, because from what I understand, the seed shrimp shell is kind of difficult for some fish to digest or eat. Um, but sometimes I do that with the bigger guppies. It's just depending on how many shrimplets I have, or like I said, if they're expensive shrimp, then I do everything I can not to do anything where the fish are gonna snack on $100 or $200 shrimp. No. That's quite an expensive lesson that I do not want to learn. I'd just rather avoid it. But sea shrimp are natural too. All of the little critters that we find in our tanks, in a shrimp tank, those are all natural things that we don't usually see in a fish tank, because the fish take care of it. Like when I showed you this tank earlier, you probably saw a few detritus worms, floating around, wiggling and stuff like that. Well, if there was fish in there, those things wouldn't be floating around and all that stuff, because the fish would eat them. But since it's a shrimp only tank, you're going to see them. In that aquarium over there, the PBLs, I have 0 snails. I have 0 seed shrimp. I have 0. Well, there's a few worms I see every once in a while. When I turn the lights on, there'll be a few of the detritus worms floating around. But I think the plecos are taking care of anything that, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know if I just got really lucky with that tank, or if I know what I'm doing. I lean towards the side of I got lucky and I know a little bit of what I'm doing, and combined, I go, ta-da! I put water, put plants, put driftwood, put shrimp and fish in there, and bam, it's like magic. I haven't had to do anything except top it off. That's the way to go. That's, to me, keeping it shrimple. I should be at work and I'm making shorts and listening to Jerry. Well, thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. That's quite an honor. Corrodal Works. What's up, brother? Ostracrods and amphipods and whatever else. Yeah, it's all natural. It's all part of the natural environment. So at first, when I first started seeing those things, when I first started doing shrimp only tanks, it freaked me out. I was like, what are all these little things? And I started doing all kinds of research and looking up YouTube videos and trying to figure out. Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole. I don't worry about it as much anymore. Like I said, I rarely have an issue. And if it gets that bad to where they're that annoying, I'm going to reset the tank. And that's the best way to take care of it. Just reset the tank. Da da da. I have ostracods infesting my infestorial culture site and made a new infestorial culture. Now I feed the seed shrimp to the CPDs in the shrimp tank. Yeah, and that's kind of what I thought about that before I moved my shrimp room. The last one that I had a tank that was full of seed shrimp, and that's what I was thinking that, maybe I'll just culture the seed shrimp and feed them to my clown killies, because the clown killies take care of the seed shrimp too. They do. They do a great job. I don't have any seed shrimp in that tank with the clown killies. None. Does the no planaria dip for plants help with scuds also? I have no idea. I wouldn't think so. Um, I don't like scuds. I just don't like them. So I don't know much about them. Even though we sold them at Jadron Aquatics, I just, last thing I wanted to do was mess with those things, because you can't even put a net in there and then go to another tank. It needs to stay with the scud tank, period, end of story. You don't want anything, because those little suckers end up going in your net into another tank, and then they get in your plants, and then they're everywhere. So yeah, the scuds I don't like. But I did find that I had some clown loaches, and the clown loaches took care of the scuds. And also the coolie loaches did a pretty good job on the smaller ones. Um, and I got that idea from Lucas Bretz also. Um, so yeah, there are certain fish that will take care of the scuds. No planaria as a plant dip? Yes, very much so. I will do that. I'll take my plants, put them in a little tub, fill it with water, and pretty much overdose it. Like, I wouldn't do it the way I dose a tank. I mean, I don't do I do more dosage than what I would do in my aquariums, because it's just plants. And I'll let it soak for 48 hours, rinse them off real good, and then put the plants in the aquarium. That seems to be a very effective method of doing it. And I learned that from Grant, because I saw him do a video about it, and I was like, you know, why didn't I ever think of that? But I had at one time started doing it, but not with no planaria. I was using the Ruby Reef. I think that's what it's called, Ruby Reef. It's a liquid that, again, I saw it on Lucas's channel, that he used it to wash his fish. So I started doing that, and I had pretty good success. So there's various different ways to do it, but you could always check out Grant's video on treating your plants separately before you, wherever you get them from, whether you get them from a hobbyist, whether you get them from the store, whether you order them online. It's probably best to treat your plants before you put them into your aquarium, just like you would do your fish. When you take fish and you put them in a quarantine process, because you don't want to bring any bad bacteria into your established colony, you quarantine them first. And the same thing with the plants. check out reverse respiration for plants on the aquarium co-op forums. Ooh, okay. All right. Well, hey, guess what? It's 8:05 and I totally spaced out on something else I was going to do, but we'll get it next time. Hopefully everything will go good next week, and I will see you bright and early at 7 o'clock our time. Wish me luck. Thank you for everything. I'm hoping this new job works out really well. I'm excited about it, and I appreciate all of your support and all of your love. And I hope everybody is safe, has a wonderful evening, and put hashtag I love shrimp in whichever stream you go to next. Peace, everybody. Much love. See you next time.